he pulled the offer from the table. I talked to two of the city council members just a short while ago, and they said that it's not that they're disappointed, they're actually kind of relieved because the issue had to happen today, whether there was a vote or there wasn't a vote.
Whether or not Belle Isle moves forward doesn't resolve our fiscal crisis, which is what the point one of my colleagues kept making. So we just have to continue to move forward. If we do make great strides in turning around our fiscal issues, then we can go back and make Belle Isle a place we can all be proud of.
We had to vote. And so whether just delaying it or putting it before a vote today, it does not change the individuals who indicated that they're not going to vote for it either way.
Now, Councilman Tate tells me that the lease deal wasn't perfect, even though he would have voted for it because he thought it would have been the best deal that they were going to get. Now, there were things in the deal that other council members were not satisfied with. Some felt they needed more information before they could have voted this up or down. Now, the lease would have been the state would have paid for the cost and maintenance of the park, which would have saved the city $6 million a year. Now, the proposed lease would have lasted for 30 years and allowed either the state or the city to opt out of the deal after every 10 years. Councilman Tate tells me tonight the city does have the $6 million to pay for Belle Isle this year. The governor's office also, though, telling us late today that this doesn't mean that the deal is dead for sure. If City Council decides to call a special meeting to vote on it before the 31st, this can still happen if Council wants it to. We're now live in Detroit. Julie Bonovic, 7 Action News.
All right, Julie, thank you very much. This news is just breaking, and it leaves a number of questions for the governor. He is in Washington right now, and his office says he isn't available to speak. But Rodney Stokes is joining us on the phone. He's a special advisor to the governor. Mr. Stokes, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
I want to start with the point that Julie was just talking about, that you're saying the deal is not dead per se, because we're not at the 31st of January yet. Did you purposely come out and kind of make this announcement about pulling it at the end of the month to kind of hurry up the council along and to see if possibly they will change their mind before a few days from now?
Well, Council told us that they would have a vote on the 29th, and we expected to vote the lease up or down on the 29th, and we expected that to happen. We had first said we needed to do this by the end of December to give the Department of Natural Resources the opportunity to get their staff and everything in place so that they can open Belle Isle this spring and have a successful year. But so when it didn't happen in December, we gave them another deadline date of January 15th. Right, a day or so before that meeting, I met with council members who were working with me on the lease, and they said, well, we can do this by the 29th. So I came back and asked for an extension to the 29th, and it didn't happen on the 29th. So I think the chances for it to happen have passed. And so if not today, then I think we have to.
Rodney, let me interrupt you for 1 second if I can. I just want to ask you quickly where this leaves us when it comes to Detroit's financial crisis and the possibility of an emergency financial manager being appointed. Is it more likely without a deal in place?
Well, I work strictly on the Belle Isle project as it relates to the emergency managers. That's other people within the governor's office that's handling that, should be able to answer that for you. But what I do know is that the money that the Department of Natural Resources was going to put to fix Belle Isle up goes way beyond the $6 million that the city spends every year. We were looking at making improvements to facilities, to erosion control, fixing the bathrooms, making sure that everything was safe and secure on the island from the standpoint of not having any facilities there that would put the public in danger. So it was going way beyond the $6 million that keeps getting thrown around.
Well, I know we talk about that, Rodney, and I'm sorry we are out of time for tonight, but we do appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about this. We will stay on top of this story. Thank you for being with us.
You're more than welcome.
Joanne, thank you. Very important.